Warm-up quiz number 1. Answer on this one should be 34. Warm-up number 2. Answer to this one should be 4. Warm-up number 3. Answer to this one is 400. Pick a number from 1 to 20 and bring it up. The winning numbers today are 3 and 12. Next will be the homework check from Friday, which will be the after-test assignment. For today, the objective is the Pythagorean Theorem, and on your last benchmark test, only 23% of you had the right answer on the Pythagorean Theorem problem, and that is when you have a right triangle and you're missing one side. So we're going to start with the hypotenuse being missing. This is the name of the side opposite of the right angle, hypotenuse, and this is simply a leg, and this is a leg. And according to the formula, this is always C, and these are A and B, but they're interchangeable in terms of which one you assign to A and B. You'll still get the same answer regardless of what you assign to either one. So here's an example. This is a right triangle. And in this right triangle, I know that this side is 3 and this side is 4, but I don't know this side. What you must do is start with the Pythagorean theorem, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and plug in the information you know. These are a and b, so put in 3 squared plus 4 squared and set that equal to c squared. Simplify 3 squared and 4 squared to be 9 and 16, and then 9 plus 16 is 25. To find the square root, do a second and then x squared on your red calculator, and then type in 25, hit enter, and you should get 5 back for the value of c. So 5 is that missing side. Here's another right triangle, and in this right triangle I know that this is 6 and this is 8, but I don't know this side here. So you start off with the formula a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That would be 6 squared plus 8 squared, and simplify those to be 36 and 64, and then add them together to get 100. You need the square root of both sides to find out what c is. The square root of 100 is 10. That's what this is. Here's a quick review. If you know these two sides, square them like this, and then add them together and find the square root of that sum. That'll give you the missing side. Here's a right triangle, and I know that that one side is 10 and the other is 24, but I'm missing this side. Find the value of the hypotenuse. The Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That would be 10 squared plus 24 squared equals c squared, and that would be 100 plus 576 equals c squared. Add those together to get 676, and then find the square root of 676. So the square root of 676 should be 26. Here's another triangle, and on this triangle we know that this side is 21 and this side is 28. Find the missing side. The solution for the bonus was 3 on the one you had to bring up. And for the practice problem, it's going to be a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That would be 21 squared plus 28 squared equals c squared. That's 441 plus 28 squared is 784. And if you add those two together, you get 1225. And 1225 will be equal to c squared. Find the square root of both of those to give you an answer of c equals 35. Here's another example. In this case, we have a right triangle in which we know the hypotenuse is 39 and this side is 36, but you're missing one of the legs. And what you do is use a different variation of the Pythagorean theorem. Remember, this is C. That's an awful looking C. This is C, and you can call this A, and you can call this B. To find A, you do a squared equals c squared minus b squared, which means if you're missing a leg, which is something that's not across from the right angle, if you're missing a leg, all you do is square the hypotenuse and subtract the square of the leg you know. So the square of the hypotenuse is 39 squared, and then subtract 36 squared. 39 squared on your calculator should be 1521, and 36 squared is 1296. And when you subtract those two, you should come up with an answer of 225. And then find the square root of both sides to get a equals 15. Again, as a review, if you know a hypotenuse and you know one of the legs, but you're missing the other leg, square the hypotenuse and subtract the square of the leg you know, just like this. And then find the square root to get 15. Here's a practice problem. Right triangle, and in this right triangle we know that the hypotenuse is 41 and one of the legs is 40. Find the missing leg. You know the hypotenuse, so you're going to solve for this side a squared, as 41 squared minus 40 squared. And 41 squared should be 1681, and 40 squared is 1600. When you subtract the two, you have 81 left. Find the square root of both sides to get an answer of 9. What we want to do is add 3.5 and 2 3/4. To do that, you have to change both of these mixed numbers into improper fractions first. To go from a mixed number to an improper fraction, I do 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. And then for the other one, 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 is 11. Does anybody not understand? Does anybody not understand how we got to an improper fraction from those mixed numbers? Yeah, to get the improper fraction, you have to start here and multiply by 3 to get 6, and add 1 to get 7. So 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 is 11. Use the denominators that were already in the problem. What is the common denominator?
4.
That would be 4. And since we're multiplying by 2 here, we would end up with 14 on the top. 7 times 2 is 14, and this one doesn't change. So now what's 14 plus 11?
25.
How many times will 4 go into 25 without going over?
6.
6 times. What's 6 times 20, or 6 times 4?
24.
24. What's the difference between 24 and 25?
1/4.
So you put the 1 over the 4. On this one, what is the improper fraction for the first one?
27.
Yep, 27 over 5. What about the second one? What's the common denominator?
10.
10. So if I'm multiplying by 2 here, what's this times 2?
54.
54. And what is this times 5?
45.
This times 5 is 45, yes. 45 plus 54 is what?
99.
99.
How many times will 10 go into 99?
9.
With how many left over? 9. Yeah. For the practice problem, you should have 13 over 4 and then 7 over 3. The common denominator is 12, which would make this 39 and this 28. Add them together to get 67 over 12. 12 goes into 67 5 times with 7 left over. 5 and 7/12. Drop this practice problem off up here. 2 1/2 times 2 1/2. The answer for this problem should be 6 1/4. Here's a bonus problem. The solution for the bonus problem should be 4. Here's another bonus problem. The answer to this one should be 1 for the bonus. Here's a bonus. To solve this bonus, it's simply division all the way through. That's 4 and 5. And then over here, this is 1 and 3. Add them together. That would be 81 plus 16, which is 97. Here's a bonus problem while we wait on everybody to finish. Solution for the bonus should be 41. Here's a bonus problem while we wait on everybody else. The solution for the bonus should be 29.